Tova, to you, Lou.
Thank you. Same to you. It's the 18th of
Man,
September, Rabbi Levitt. What are we doing?
we're gonna do, we're gonna try to do the eighth parak of Maseches Yoma,
Oh,
parak Yom Kippurim, and it's Ayin Gimel Amid Base.
okay.
That's where it starts.
Ayin Gimel. Oh, well, I haven't got the right place. I've got 8A. Yoma 8A. I've got, it's not to do with the tits?
No,
No.
when I said eight, I meant the eighth parak, not the eighth page.
Ah,
It's 73, Ayin Gimel.
so the eighth, oh, I see the eighth page of number one, of the first,
Page 83b.
uh,
Yuma 83b. No, strike that. 73b.
73B.
73B,
B4 to be exact.
73.
So that's in the second volume of
Yes.
Yuma.
Yes, second volume.
70B3, 70B3, all right. And whereabouts in the
Let's
page?
see.
Pardon, Roy?
Whereabouts on the page?
It's a little more than midway. It begins with a new Mishnah there.
Hmm.
I don't know if you have the English or the Hebrew, but it says in Yom Kippur, it's prohibited to engage in eating and drinking.
What the Mishnah knew was to do with Yom Kippur. Oh, yes, here it is.
Mitsuyan.
Hmm. I've got it.
Okay, good. Lou went out to get his Gemora.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, okay, we'll see how it goes. It's we're not going to finish the parak, but we could skip to something that's more interesting. I think there's probably a gadita towards the end of the parak.
Oh.
So
That might be more interesting.
Reish Lachish. 74. All right.
Um,
So what we're looking
I'm
at,
just looking here now. Maybe we should. Um, let's turn to Pei Ahmed Base, the Mishnah over there, 85b. It's
Okay, heading base. Okay.
right in the middle of the page. Trying to find something that might be more interesting.
is this the sin offering, atoning for unwitting performance of transgression?
Yeah. Okay, now I'm thinking maybe even further on. Um, um, yeah, so it's like I suspected. Towards another page or so, we got Agadata. Um, yeah, let me just see if. Um, oh, hey, maybe this is interesting. Over here on Pei Vav Ahmed Aleph,
Hey,
That's on 5, is that right? Aleph, Beis, Gimel, Dalet. I'm on page 6,
Vav is 86.
Yeah, this is
page 86.
86A. It's the third wide line. Gemora asks, "Heichi dami chilul Hashem." The Gemara is going to go into it's talking over here about whether how tshuva works to undo a sin. But
They're on 86.
in the meantime, the Gemara is asking the question, Heichi dami chilul Hashem. What constitutes chilul Hashem?
Whereabouts in the page is it?
It's the third wide line.
Which is where?
First word in the line is
It's no good to me.
ad, aid,
So how far down?
halfway down.
Halfway down. Okay. Thank you.
You have an art scroll, Roy?
I've got this.
Oh.
I've got it. Heichi dami. Oh, here I've got it. Heichi dami halalu. Chilalu.
Heichi dami chilul Hashem.
Chilalu Hashem. Yeah. Right, I've got it.
Okay. So this looks like an interesting sugya. Okay, so Roy, you want to start?
All right. Heichi dami chilu Hashem. The Gemara asks, what are the circumstances that cause desecration of God's name? Omer Rav. Kigon Ano I Shakalno Bisra Mitachal Lo Yevo Dami La Tor. What are the circumstances that cause desecration of God's name? Rav said, for example, in the case of someone like me, since I'm an important public figure, if I take meat from the butcher and do not give him money immediately, then he's got here, people are likely to think that I did not mean to pay at all. They would consider me a thief and learn from my behavior that one is permitted to steal. Omar Abaya said, La Shana Ayla Ba'asara Dala Tofi Aval Ba'asara Desofi Lay Lan Ba. Abaya said they taught this statement of Rav only in a place where they do not ask for the money, where it is not customary for the butcher himself to come and collect payment for the customer. When the customer does not pay immediately, people may suspect him of theft. But in a place where they ask for the money from the customer sometime later, we have no problem with doing this, since everyone understands he's buying on credit and he's not desecrating God's name.
Okay, do we have any Rashi over here? I don't see any right now. Okay, let's go on. Mary, you want to take over? Amar Ravina.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. Amar Rabina.
Oh, actually, there is Rashi. I see here now. It's way above from where he is in the lines in the Gemora. Rashi is Chil Hashem starts way up on the Rashi column. About 12 lines, 12 narrow lines down from the top 4 wide lines.
Let's see, 12, 2, 4, 6.
I see it.
Okay. So Mary, you see it?
No, I don't. 12 narrow lines down.
You're in an art school. It's right opposite a sword.
A sword. Oh,
I got lost on this one. What page was it again? 80.
oh, I see.
86A.
Okay, so
86A4.
Chilu Hashem.
Right.
This is a silly question. So where do I find Yuma?
Yuma, where do you find it? I mean, it's in Seder Moed. So if you have a set of Gemoras, it'll be towards the beginning of the set. If the Gemoras are all in order.
Well, I can't reach a lot of stuff. Neither can Joan. A lot of my things are out. So where is it now? You said it's where?
Well, in other words, first you have Maseches Brachos, then you have Maseches Shabbos, then you have Erevin, then you have Psochim and Shkolim, and then you have another 5 small Masechtas, Megillah, Chagiga, and then after that you have Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Sukkah.
Can't reach it right now, so I'll just listen.
Okay, good.
Okay, so Rashi says, Chilu Hashem, Chotei v'michatei acherim. So what if one sins or causes another to sin? That's a Chilu Hashem.
He sins.
Michatei. He causes another to sin, acherim.
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether this this vav in front of the word maftia means and, or does it mean or? I think it means that he's chotet and he causes other people because of his chait. He causes other people to be lax in observance also.
Oh, okay. That could be.
Let's see if they have any explanation over here. They bring explanation in the name of Rashi. Well, they got all sorts of other things, but not Rashi. Wonder why they don't explain Rashi. Okay, well, I think we'll see as we go what Rashi means over here. So in any case, we got another Rashi as well. Don't we? No, we don't have it. Don't have it yet. Okay. Ba'azne Hashem Tzvakos. We didn't get to that yet. Okay.
No. Okay, so now it's in the Gemora. It says, Amar Ravina. So Ravina said, Umata mechasya atra titav So what in the city of Mechasya, Atra is where, let's see, Ditave. Who?
Tiboihu.
So that's where they collect the money.
Yeah, it is a asra. It is a locale, a place. The
Mhm.
tavoihu that they do come the butchers. They do come and make the rounds and make sure that people pay them for the beat that they gave them.
Uh-huh.
So he's responding, Ravina, to the statement of Abaye. That Abaye made a limitation in Rav's case of taking meat and not paying for it. He says that's only going to be Chil Hashem if it's not the custom of the butcher or the storekeeper to to make a record and demand payment of what he gave. But if his practice is to if the store owner's practice is to go and collect the money, which would seem to be a obviously normal thing and advisable thing to do, not to rely on the person to pay, to remember to pay.
Yeah.
So in that case, there won't be any Chil Hashem because people say, oh, well, he's just buying on credit. In other words, if it's clear, according to this story, it seems that if it's clear that people buy on credit, so then it's okay to buy on credits. I think some people have a misunderstanding about this story. It's not saying, Rab's not saying that if he buys on credit, it's a Chil Hashem. What he's saying is that if he takes the meat without paying for it, so then people are going to think, oh, he's taking the meat and he's not paying for it now, and who says to where he's ever going to pay for it? So they Abaya says, well, that's only going to be an issue if the butcher for some strange reason doesn't run his business in an efficient way, and he doesn't go around demanding the payment for the people that took on credit. But if that's his practice, that he has proper ledgers, and he knows what people bought, and he knows how much it costs, and he goes and makes sure that he keeps up with them to make sure that they pay what they're supposed to pay. So then there's nothing wrong with buying on credit. And Ravina says that his town of Masamaxia is in fact a place that's like that. That the butchers they always make sure that they get paid. so no one has to be no one is going to think that there's not going to be a Chil Hashem through buying on credit.
I'm confused by the Rashi because it seems that the example doesn't have anything to do with sinning.
Okay, so the point is like this. The people are going to think what are people going to think?
They're going to think that this guy's a cheapskate.
they're going to think that Rav is very lax in regard to properly paying for for the things that he buys.
Right, and it says like me, and the
And
footnote
why?
says like me because he's a person of great stature.
Yeah, because people are going to say, "Oh, if that's the way Rav does, so then I'm certainly allowed to do like that." You know, and then they'll think that they can, you know, just take things, and as long as the guy doesn't ask them for the money, then they're good to go. So it's all right to do that.
So it's causing them to sin.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit confused by that, because it would seem to me that it would be a different factor, that the person, the John Doe on the street would say, "Look, this is the way a Talmid Chacham behaves. What kind of religion is this?"
Okay, he might say that also, but we're that's also one thing that he might say. But at the end of the day, he's going to say to himself, and if he doesn't say it to himself, somebody else is going to say it, that oh, if that's what the rabbi does, so then that must be it's okay to do. That's what people say.
I see.
So
Okay.
what page do we say we're on Yoma?
Hey, Vav Ahmed Aleph, 81A. I'm sorry, 86A.
A4.
Yeah, in other words, as opposed to saying to themselves, I mean, okay, it might be somebody that says like that, but most people will assume that what Rav is doing is permissible because he's a rabbi. He knows what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do, and they're going to assume that he's conducting himself in the it whether it's it's they're going to I guess here's the question. Here's the question. Are they going to assume that what Rav is doing is permissible? And like that, they're going to say, oh, so I can do that also. Or are they going to say, oh, well, if Rav does a sin like that, so it's not so terrible if I do like that also.
I think there's a third possibility. When we're talking about Achil Hashem, we translate it as a desecration of the name of Hashem, which means to me that we're affecting the person's view of Hashem. We are lessening Hashem in the person's eyes. That the person says, this is the way a person who is loyal to Hashem behaves. Hashem must not be so great. Chas v'sholom. Not that he says, I'm going to go ahead and turn around and sin. He says Hashem is not so great.
Yeah. I don't think that's what Rashi's saying here. I hear what you're saying, but I don't think that's what Rashi's saying.
I think you're right. That's why I'm saying I'm confused by the Rashi.
In other words, we see from Rashi that what Chil Hashem is that someone does something which causes a lessening in Torah observance. That's the Chil Hashem. And that's why it's the more learned and the more respected a person is, he's the one who's really in danger more than anyone else, or someone who learns in yeshiva of causing a Chil Hashem, because people learn from him that if somebody else does something that they'll say, they won't say, well, if he does it, I could also do it. They'll say he shouldn't do that. So it won't cause them necessarily to. It also could cause, if he could, So I see that he does that, so I could do it also. To a lesser extent, I think, though. Other people can also cause a Chil Hashem. Okay. Interesting. I have a note from the Ben Yoyada. Shebechol Adam ein chashash, in regard to I guess the populace as a whole, the rule would be that there is no concern of Chil Hashem. Kevin shatabach yodea shederech ha'olam lekachas u'leshalim bahakafa, because the butcher knows that it's the derech ha'olam, it's the way of people to take something on credit and not pay right away. Ulam al Rav, hatabach yakshov sherotze lekachat uli tashlum mishum shehu adam gadol. But in the case of Rav, the butcher is going to think that if he's not going to pay right up front, that what he wants to do is not to pay on credit, but he wants to take without paying because he's a rabbi and blah blah blah. He's a important person. And then he'll end up thinking that it's mutter for him to take without paying anything. That seems to be there's different views over here about what exactly is the Chil Hashem over here. So he's saying that the Chil Hashem is in regard to the butcher himself. Ulam b'Rabbeinu Chananel nira shachashash hu sha'acherim shra'u es Rav kona b'li l'shalem yomru shra'u es Rav lokeach b'li l'shalem. So Rabbeinu Chananel says it's not talking about the what the butcher is going to think. It's talking about what other people who see Rav do this, what are they going to think? And they're going to think that Rav is and they'll think, oh, Rav is not he's not going to pay. I saw Rav take meat and he didn't pay for it. And that's what Abaya is coming out and saying. This would only be a concern if it's not the case that people take on credit, and then the butcher keeps a record, and he goes and he claims his payment from the people in due time. Maybe gives them 30 days or a week, whatever it is, but that's what people do. So this that Rav would go and do that also, like other people. Abaya says in the Gemora, that's not a Chilul Hashem. That's just called you're taking on credit. It would only be the scenario that Rav says would only be if it was not the custom to purchase on credit, and that the butcher is going to go and is going to come and collect at a later date for the meat. And then Ravina says that where he lives is that is the custom that people buy on credit. Masamaxia Asra is a place where the butchers regularly demand the payment in due time for the meat that they give to people without that they don't pay right up front. Okay. Oh, we're out of time, I see. Okay. Very good. So we'll see what this has to do with Yom Kippur. I think hopefully we'll see. And if not, it's an interesting sugi in any case.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay. You're welcome.